Hi, today I am going live with Brandi Broxson, who is the features editor at Real Simple magazine. She will be jumping on in just a moment to join me, and we are going to be talking about pitches. What makes a great pitch and what you should be including when you are emailing an editor like Brandi. She'll be joining me in just a second. Hello!
Hi, how's it going?
Great, how are you?
Good. Don't mind my pup back there. He's,
Oh, how could we
he's
mind?
always
What a doll. So, Brandi, I was just saying, what your role is at Real Simple, and that we're going to be talking a little bit today about pitching editors. And could you just start by telling us a little bit more about who you are in your role at Real Simple?
yeah. So I have been at Real Simple for 6 years now, which is crazy. I moved up from Florida where I was working in newspapers and magazines. That's kind of always been my career.
Mm-hmm.
And at Real Simple, which was a favorite of mine. Okay.
Did you see my phone fall?
You're doing
apologies.
cartwheels over there.
I know. We're trying to get ourselves organized here. It's all good. Okay.
No worries. So I've been at Real Simple for 6 years, and I'm the features editor, which means a lot of things. I kind of do a little bit of everything, which is great. So I head up our finance and career content, which is so important and has really become like this expanded topic in the last few years for the magazine. But I also get to do a lot of market work, which is so fun. So we have a column in the magazine called Clever Items, and it's like ingenious products that make your life easier. So I also do that page. And then I do the pets page, which is maybe not surprising because I'm like surrounded by my dog at all times. So that's kind of me and what I do at the mag.
Awesome. And you know what? I love that your dog is in the picture here. I won't be surprised at all if my dog joins in too. He's always curious about the happenings. So
I was going to say now is prime USPS time. So if you hear the buzzer and he barks, I'll be right back. So.
Yeah, that's real. Okay, let's talk about what are the most in-demand themes and topics that you are wanting pitches on for Real Simple.
Yes. So our tagline is to make readers' lives easier. So we're looking for pitches really that speak to that, and it's all things. It's health, it's finances, it's food, it's organization. All of those things are super important. As I mentioned, we've been expanding our finance. Our readers just love it and want it, and it's a pain point for them. So that's something that we're doing every month and that I'm always fielding pitches for. And then something else that I think is kind of interesting that our editor-in-chief, Liz Vaccarello, has brought in is the need for stories that kind of intersect like psychology and other things. So maybe like why do we spend the way we do? Or are there like little mind tricks that you can do to like get yourself to like clean and organize? Kind of like that intersection, I think, is also something that we're exploring. But yeah, we really take pitches on just about everything in women's lifestyle.
Awesome. I love it. And what a fun way. I love that. Psychology.
Yeah.
The intersection of psychology and the problems that we all are trying to solve in day to day.
For sure. Yeah, it can explain a lot. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. So for you, what makes the difference between a fine pitch and a stellar pitch that knocks your socks off?
So I have a funny story to tell you, but first, just to answer your question, I feel like you can really tell when someone pitching you has read the magazine. And I think that that's so important. I think knowing the publication that you're pitching for, kind of having an idea of what our reader is looking for. If you are pitching something and you already have an idea of maybe like, oh, this would be great for, this standing feature that runs every month, or this might be great for the essays column, like I think just knowing that and knowing that you read the magazine is like a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
And I get it. Like as a freelancer, it can be really hard to read all the things, like research all the things. But I think even if you can just spend like a few minutes reading the hard copy of the magazine or even seeing what we do online, that your pitch can go so much further.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to tell you the story about the most favorite pitch that I've ever gotten.
Oh, please. Yes, we love that.
So I was on a press trip and we went to find out how cranberry juice is made, how cranberries are harvested. So picture me like in a cranberry bog, like with waders on. Okay.
Yeah.
And there were there, but there were also freelancers there. And so there was this freelancer there who we were acquaintances, we knew each other. And we're literally standing in the cranberry bog and she's like, I have a money pitch for you. And I was like, great, let me know. Like, let's talk about it now. So basically, she had been dealing with a lot of medical bills with her husband. And she was like, I think that you should do a story on how you can negotiate down medical bills. And I was like, this is so great. Like, I feel like those are my favorite kinds of pitches is when a writer is like kind of an expert in something, like has dealt with an issue or like a problem. I feel like that already kind of primes you to write a really great story, you know? So I took that idea back to my bosses and they loved it. We found out that medical billing is like a really crazy place. Like a lot of times the bills are incorrect. And so we were able to provide some really good advice to readers.
Yeah.
And it was so funny how it happened, but I just had to share that because it's one of my faves. So
yeah. So everybody, if you're listening, meet Brandi in the cranberry bog.
I love that she like went for it, you know?
Yeah.
So I feel like I feel like that's a really good piece of advice for if you're thinking about like, oh, what should I pitch? Like think about your own pain points in your life and maybe how you can like bring like your little bit of knowledge of that to writing a larger piece. So
Gotcha. Okay. Awesome. Next question.
yes.
How should someone consider seasonality and advance notice as far as pitching something, timing, how many months in advance do you want to see something? Thoughts?
Yeah, so it really depends on who you're pitching. If you're pitching me on the print publication, we're working just about like 3 months in advance, but you want to think further than that because the stories that we're working on now for 3 months ahead of time, they're basically already like done. We've already like come up with, you know, how the story is going to look online in the magazine. I mean, you really want to pitch for like 6 months or longer down the line. So I'm taking pitches right now more for like the end of the year, which is crazy to think, but we're already thinking about holiday. We're already thinking about gift guide at the end of the year. Be thinking about what stories will look like at the beginning of 2022. So I would say for the print magazine, you want to try and be as evergreen as possible. And that just means that you're pitching something that could be in any issue. But if you are going to pitch something that is tied to seasonality, you just want to have that in mind. For digital, though, they have a shorter lead time. So you can pitch things more for like summer, fall, those types of things. So it really just depends on who you're pitching.
Okay. Totally makes sense. Now, obviously, when we think of a pitch, we're thinking about producing an article together, right? But are you looking for pitches that go beyond that format? Are you interested in hearing about ideas for video, for social media, for going live, for filming DIYs? What are your thoughts there?
Yeah, I would say for the most part, a lot of those types of things we do in-house. We have done some like financial Instagram lives where we'll go live with an expert. I did an event a couple weeks ago that was all about retirement. where we had like talent and people that showed up. But I will tell you, I know that you mentioned like DIYs too.
Mm-hmm.
And we actually included a couple DIYs from lifestyle bloggers sites. And so that was really cool. Like I was just scrolling through this woman's site and she had this really cute way to fold a napkin into the shape of a bunny. And
Oh,
that ended up being like it was such a favorite for the Easter issue. We also found like a really great hack for cleaning your shower with a broom, and that was from another lifestyle blogger site. So
wow.
oftentimes I'm seeing them on Instagram and then going to their website and then working with them that way. So I would say like just, keep in mind like editors could be kind of peeking onto your site for tips and for pitches. So yeah.
Yeah. Let's all keep that in mind then, for sure. Now, in terms of actually delivering and the mode, is email, I mean, you gave us an example of email not being the way to deliver a pitch, like, when you're in a cranberry bog and the moment is right. But generally speaking, is email the right way to connect with an editor?
I prefer email. I prefer that people use my work email, which is not as much of an issue with freelancers, but is an issue with PR pitches that I get. Sometimes it'll go to my personal email, and that's hard just the back and forth. But I will say that I've made a lot of really great connections with people reaching out first on Instagram. And just being like, maybe not even like fully pitching me, but just being like, hey, I have this in mind for you. Like, can we connect? And then usually I'll send them my work email address. So I would say definitely email is preferred, but don't be scared to reach out on Instagram too. And really, it's one of my favorite things as an editor to kind of follow along with small businesses that we featured or that we want to feature. I've become really good like Instagram friends with this woman that runs a date farm in California, and like we just like check in on each other.
Yeah.
And that was kind of that's kind of a cool pitch story. She sent us these dates, which I had never eaten dates growing up. They're amazing.
Yeah.
Spoiler. She had sent us these dates around holiday time, and it was already too late for holidays. We'd already done our gift guide and everything. But I kept her in mind, and we stayed, like buddies on Instagram. And it worked out where 6 months later, her dates were great for a summer gift guide that we did. So I would say that's something else to keep in mind, like for freelancers and for PR reps, is that sometimes it takes a while. Like sometimes it takes, many months to like find the perfect spot. But if you can kind of, like be patient, like check in, then sorry, he's back. I think he sees the male person outside.
He's coming for you.
Yeah, just having like a little bit of like patience when it comes to pitches, I think is key, because it might not be a fit right now, but that doesn't mean that it's not a fit in 6 months when we're, doing a story on XYZ. So
yes. Okay. So my last question for you was going to be, what do you do if you don't hear back from an editor or if your pitches decline? But it sounds like you're kind of answering that by saying, hang in there, keep trying, stay connected. Is that right?
yeah, first I would say that editors get a lot of pitches, like our inboxes are nuts. I don't always have the time to respond and say like, hey, this isn't a fit. I really try to get to everyone, but sometimes I just can't. So I would say if you don't hear back the first time, email again. If you don't hear back that time, then it might be time to like shop your pitch elsewhere. Truthfully, because as an editor, like I want you to place stuff too. Like I don't want it to kind of languish in my inbox forever if you can make money off of it somewhere else. So yeah, that's kind of the advice that I would give. But I would also say, like, even if you do get something that's declined, to like check in again. It doesn't mean that something in the future might not be a fit. And oftentimes I'll get story ideas just from looking at other people's Instagrams and like keeping up with them. So I think that that's something too.
Awesome. Well, hey, thank you so much for your time today. It's a lot of
So
really
fun.
great wisdom.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Hopefully we can do this sometime again in the future. But in the meantime, folks, Brandi is the gal to reach out to if you have an idea for print for Real Simple. And Brandi, should I just leave your email in the caption, or what's the best way?
Yeah, that's great. People can
Cool.
reach out to me on Instagram or my email. It's brandi.broxson@realsimple.com. So reach out and say hey. But yeah, thanks for having me.
Awesome. All right. Thank you. Have a great rest of your day.
You too. Bye.
Bye. Like, comment, and hit subscribe. Don't forget to tap the bell so that you get a notification every time a new video comes out. One more thing, I have a free gift for you. You can download a copy of my Success Capture System. It's a tool that I use with my one-on-one clients, but you can get your copy now. Just click the link below